handling a sculpture.
It's a upside-down staircase.
Yes, it's a spiral staircase.
Yeah.
So the artist has designed it in two different ways. So this side that you're holding right now, where you're feeling it, it actually has like shorter steps. But if you turn it the other way, which you were experiencing earlier, it has.
Oh, okay.
Wider steps.
I didn't notice that it had wider steps. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is obviously a chair.
Chair, yes, okay. It's actually two colors, white and black. So this artist is Tang Ling Na. She specializes in large-scale charcoal drawings.
Oh,
So I
so
think
everything is monochrome.
Yes. So she likes architecture and she likes to actually come up with her imaginary landscape. And for the Sam Touch collection,
SAM, Singapore Art Museum.
she transformed the 2D imaginary painting into this 3D work that you are touching.
Architecture and sculpture.
Art is something that's quite personal to me. I quite enjoy experiencing it, but historically speaking, it has never been super accessible to people with vision impairment.
Charcoal architecture on a wall.
This movement by museums like Singapore Art Museum to make art more accessible to people with vision impairment is something that means a lot to me. I don't have to rely on the interpretations and descriptions of other people who are with me. It will allow me to enjoy art on my own terms and understand it in my own way.
Valves tap on a tangle of copper pipes, speakers in between.
Sama-sama menuju bahagia.
An introduction to our cast in a monochrome journal collage. Joshua, his photo overlaid with small architectural sculptures and a writing hand. Mihran, with a wide grin next to a drawing of an open book. Bo Sheng, rhythmically pressing buttons numbered in braille. Title, Seeing is Believing. Joshua, at his desk, headphones on.
Hi, okay, I was having technical difficulties and my Wi-Fi also chose. Very good time to drop.
A woman smiling back on screen.
Yes. Am I sharing my screen right now?
Presentation slides.
Hi, my name is Joshua. Very glad to be here today to share with you guys a little bit about my journey. If I were to describe the kind of eyesight that I have now, for both eyes I have less than 10% vision. And on my left eye it's blurry color, and on my right eye it's like looking through frosted glass. It's not really functional vision. That's what I call it, non-functional vision. A lot of people ask me, when you lost your eyesight, how were you able to move on? It must have been difficult and stuff like that. And it definitely was.
An interview.
So the honest truth is I was really depressed, right? So in the past I would draw, I can't do that anymore. I was a school photographer, I can't do that anymore. My primary form of entertainment was to watch videos. I couldn't see the videos anymore. And being robbed of that experience, I feel, is definitely quite an emotionally crushing experience. It's something that I really struggled with for a while. Accept what you cannot change and change what you cannot accept. I didn't feel it was right for me to bog myself down with these thoughts of what I don't have anymore and what I can't do, and instead I focus a lot on what I could do. And I think this is a frame of mind that we can really adopt, especially in these kinds of times, but also when we are talking about supporting students, whether they have special education needs or not.
Q&A.
In attempting to be a more inclusive society, what do you think is more important, empathy or empowerment?
Good question.
The Oscar laughs.
Wow, one of those tricky ones. I think they work both hand in hand. When you give people empathy, it empowers them because it makes you understand, there's nothing wrong with me, there's nothing weird about me, I'm not alone. There's always people who are out there to understand me and connect with me. And that can be very empowering. At the same time, when you give people the opportunity to do things, you empower them, right? That is demonstrating a level of empathy as well. You're understanding that they, as an individual person, have their own motivation, have their own needs, They want to self-actualize and achieve their goals and dreams. And so I think in a way, even though this might sound like a bit of a cop-out, they both work hand in hand. I think they both need to exist with one another in order to successfully create an inclusive society.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much, Joshua, for that.
And I'm really looking forward to other people in my position experiencing the same growth and learning that I did.
Thank you, Joshua, for your time and sharing your knowledge and experiences with us.
So thank you all for listening, and thank you all for continuing to try to better this area of education. Okay, time to go for class.
He packs up. Through window grills, a boy in thick glasses and a woman at a blackboard, Amanda.
Stand in the middle. In the middle.
Assistant vision teacher, IC2 Prep House.
Are you ready? Can I have good standing?
Okay. Gonna start soon.
Yes, you're gonna start soon, but I don't think you're ready. When I first met Mihran, he already had difficulty with fine motor skills. Slowly. First dot, we're gonna go over. Good looking.
Mihran loves going to kindergarten.
Initially, when we started, he wasn't even able to hold a pencil or a chalk, anything. Dot, back.
He draws lines between dots and misses one.
Oh no, where did our chalk go? What's this? From then till today, he has actually made progress. But having good pencil grip, good pencil strength and control, that's something that he still lacks. And he honestly doesn't like written tasks, which is a limitation.
Mihran reaches the last dot.
There you go. Nice touching. And we go under. So for children with visual impairment, coordinating their eye movement and their hand movement is not easy task. So, and what's after rainbows and waves?
She wipes the drawing away as he thinks.
Snowman. Let's draw a snowman, okay? Over. The hand-eye coordination. That's what we are trying to integrate. Getting him to visually attend to what he's doing. So looking at the dots, connecting the dots, and drawing along the lines. So that's what I was targeting. Over. Very nice. Continue. Let's not leave our chalk.
He draws Amanda's voice overlaid.
So people often have this misconception that persons with visual impairment cannot see completely, but that's not true. Visual impairment actually falls on a spectrum. So Mihran's been diagnosed with Leber's congenital amaurosis, and this is an eye condition that affects his near and distant acuity, meaning he's not able to see clearly both near and far. I think this is nice. I'm gonna give you a star for this, okay? For him, contrast is an issue, so he needs clear and bold outlines to be able to discriminate pictures.
Mihran jumps around with a wide grin.
Oh no. Can I have good chalk holding?
I lied on the body thing.
Yeah, can I have good chalk holding? No, let's try that again. Come. When I first met Mihran, he was very reserved. So even when I started lessons with him, he would hide. But over time, he has learned to open up to me, and I think that is very heartwarming because we could engage in very meaningful lessons and very interactive lessons, and I can see that he actually made a lot of progress. Good looking. So fast.
A braille typewriter. A hand traces its contours as paper is inserted and aligned. Then, the typing commences on 9 main keys.
I'm 16 years old this year, and my school's at Ibrahim Secondary.
Bo Sheng loves maths, but English, not so much.
All visually impaired students after primary school, even though it's a mainstream or a special school, in secondary school they need to go to a mainstream school, or else they cannot continue.
He sits at a void deck, the machine and a large notebook on a table before him.
This is a braille that VI students like me will use to study.
VI, visually impaired.
Our form teacher or subject teachers will give us work by sending emails to my visually impaired teachers, and they will print out using a braille printer that will produce this kind of book, filled with all brailles.
A finger traces the raised dots.
So the homework comes to me in braille, and I will complete it by using a braille machine, and after the completion I will pass to my VI teachers and they will do it on a computer. After that they will forward the work through email to my subject teachers.
He inserts a new sheet with practiced ease.
After secondary school I will not be using my braille because in higher level most visually impaired like me will be learning how to use computer to study.
A finger checks the just printed line. A hand tapping a spacebar.
Recently, I've been trying to fiddle around with video games that I used to play with in the past,
Pokemon Fire Red.
almost purely by memory.
2 sprites entering a house.
I've been trying to play Pokemon.
A sprite with a red cap circles a table with 3 Pokeballs.
So I just got a Pokemon.
Squirtle, Water Pokemon, level 5.
How do I get up?
Pokemon Battle. A split screen of the game, Joshua and his fingers on the keys. Joshua and his opponent send out their Pokemon.
So I have Squirtle, he has Bulbasaur.
Squirtle attacks.
There we go. I'm actually not sure if I'm doing well, but that's one thing you sort of have to do when you're playing video games and you can't see you. Okay, looks like I knocked him out.
Squirtle gains experience and levels up.
Nice.
Joshua in an armchair.
I use my computer a lot. I use it for work, I use it for school, and for personal entertainment. And so let me show you some of the things that I do on my computer on a daily basis. Let's start with the screen reader. On my computer right now, I have a screen reader called JAWS running. This is it reading it back to me. So it's reading what's on the screen. Easily one of the apps I use the most has to be Microsoft Word.
Split screen. His laptop, his face, and fingers flying over a keyboard.
We just have a nursery rhyme here that I quickly typed out, and so here it goes. If I were to slow it down.
Slower. Hey diddle diddle, the cat played the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon, comma. The little dog laughed as he such sport and the dish ran away with the spoon, period.
One step up in difficulty has to be Microsoft Excel. I use this pretty often as well, especially to do calculations, tally. When it came to picking up Word and Excel, it took a while, but I had to do it out of necessity because when I went to Polytechnic, I really had to use this software every single day. So it was either do or die, so I really just had to try and try and try. So recently I've been getting a bit into plants, so maybe we can find a video about plants here.
A YouTube search.
So getting my hands on this assistive tech sort of metaphorically opened up my eyes to the possibility of things that I could do in the future, because now I realize, okay, I can type, I can access the web. You know, my life isn't over, I still have access to all the things online at the very least. So another thing that I have to do quite regularly is I have to do some coding. So let's do something a little bit silly. What this code will do is print the phrase "Hello World" 100 times. Let's give it a try.
Title: Seeing is Believing. Title: Seeing is Believing. A lone boy with a large backpack crosses a road with a white cane, sweeping it in front of him as he walks. The street lights are on. It's still dark out. Bo Sheng takes over an hour to get to school every day. He maneuvers through HDV void decks to the bus stop with an easy, confident stride. He holds his phone to his ear, bus arrival times on screen. He sits and waits. Bus 976 trundles in, slowing to a gentle stop. Bo Sheng joins the queue to enter the bus and shows his pass to the driver.
Thank you.
He sits near the front of the bus, close to the driver, phone to his ear. Cut to him speaking to the driver.
Is this Bangkit station? Oh, like that.
Good.
He stands at the edge of another bus stop, facing out to the road.
I can recognize the bus is single or double deck that is coming by the engine sound actually.
On another bus,
Single deck, the engine is softer, whereas double deck is more louder actually.
the bus stops and a crowd of people alight, Bo Sheng crammed like a sardine among them. He stands at the edge of the bus stop once more as a bus drives off behind him.
I take around 1 hour to reach school, and I take 4 different buses. Good weather or bad weather, I'll still take it. But if it rains, I will just chunk to school lah.
He steps on board another bus.
What bus is this?
Huh?
What bus number? What bus number?
Kilo.
Huh?
96 kilo.
Thanks.
He steps off and continues to wait, turned to the buses queued at the stop. Headlights and street lamps glimmer warm in the blue darkness, out of focus. A stranger comes around from behind him.
Yeah.
She taps his shoulder, guiding him aboard. He steps up and shows his pass to the driver.
Okay.
They have a lot of disadvantages for us lah. But I really think that eyesight is just part of your functions only.
Outside, the day breaks.
For me, eyesight is not a big topic.
At the next bus stop, another stranger approaches.
How?
The stranger reaches out to hail the bus as it slides in.
Because I'm blind, right? People normally don't see my potential. How? I want people to see what I can do rather than what I cannot do.
He walks down the path outside school with his schoolmates. Cut to another video call. Songming, an artist.
Hello from Berlin.
Hi Songming, my name is Joshua. I'm a student at SMU. This SAM Touch collection is quite new to me. So Hopefully I'll be able to see what your prototype is like and give you feedback and experience it firsthand.
Thank you very much. I think our mission here with this project is really to make arts accessible to everyone. This is a very new kind of endeavor for me as well, so it would be great to hear from you what your thoughts are.
A pan over Song Ming's artwork, with diagonal lines patterned over pages of empty musical staffs.
Pretty much all my works revolve around music and sound to some extent, and it's usually about how we connect to music and how we relate to it. And with the music manuscripts, I started with music manuscript paper and essentially just superimposing hand-drawn lines on it. Basically using the structure itself as a way of making compositions.
Sharon, Senior Manager, SAP.
Thanks, Song Ming. I don't know whether you can see on screen actually.
I have an idea of what you're holding in your hands.
Yes, it's your artwork. So based on what you sent over in the soft copy, IC2 Prep House used their Piaf machine to actually create this Tactile. So maybe I'll pass this to Joshua to experience it.
And, so it's basically embossed, right, in a way?
Yes.
So, Ming, for a bit of context, I've heard a bit about your work, but this is the first time I'm experiencing it. I tried not to have anyone describe it to me too much beforehand, so it's literally and metaphorically going in blind. So I can clearly feel the lines and I understand what it is. The immediate impression that I get is that I might be able to feel it a lot faster and appreciate it a lot quicker if the entire embossed print was smaller. Because everything is so spread out, I'm not quite sure what I'm feeling. It's like if you are standing very close to a wall and seeing some very big letters being printed on the wall, and you see like a H and an E and an L and an L and an O, but you see only one letter at a time, and it's taking you very long to figure out what a word is trying to say, let alone the whole sentence. If that analogy makes sense.
Sense, yeah, thank you very much. I almost expected a different kind of response because I thought you would say, it's too small, I want it like larger so that I can feel it more. But yeah, I understand what you mean. So yeah, thank you, that's very helpful.
Yeah, Song Ming, I brought the prototype you sent over, so I'm going to pass this to Joshua to let him experience this.
This is made of wood, right?
Yeah, this is actually laser cut on plywood. The prototype that you have is one piece out of 19 pieces.
So before coming here and experiencing the prototype, I honestly didn't know what to expect. I was kind of curious how Song Ming would interpret it, not only in a visual way, but interpret it in a tactile way that people with vision impairment can enjoy.
Joshua's hands on the Tactile.
Yeah, so Song Ming, what I'm doing is I'm feeling it over and over again. It's definitely much easier to tell there's some kind of pattern here. The lines are not too fine, like I can distinguish that the lines of the manuscript are there.
Close-up of the raised lines on wood.
Honestly, I was quite impressed. The implementation that he had with the wood is very clear to me what he's trying to do, especially for something at a relatively early stage. Yeah, I quite like this. This is nice. The choice of wood is also a good one because it's nice to touch.
I considered 3D printing, but with technology, you never know how dated it's going to be. Like, for example, just in 20 years. And, you know, wood is just kind of classic. And yeah, I'm glad you like it as a material. Yeah, just based on the feedback, I'll try to make another prototype. And then we can try to take it from there.
I think Song Ming is very receptive to feedback, which is very nice, especially for someone in the art space who really is quite prolific in his own way, but also trying to expand his reach of art to a group of people who maybe would never otherwise enjoy his work. So I'm very glad to see that kind of progress.
Mihran at home with family and a picture book.
How spell this?
His sister Jessia.
I need to spell this, read.
Happy parents gazing on.
Yeah, I love cherries. Are you sure it's love? Read, Mihran, don't memorize. It's a like. Yeah, I like cherries. Who said? Said there. Okay, continue. I love cherries too. Are you sure it's love? It's like.
Mihran's father overlaid.
Mihran is a very cheerful boy. He's a very happy boy. Mihran is 6 years old now. In Mihran's case, he has low vision. He cannot see far things.
There are words down here. Read them.
nearby things that is 1-2 meter close, he can see.
There's no door at the start over here. Ready for him?
Even the close vision, he cannot see in detail. The vision is blurry vision.
Now we have 2 cherries each.
Even myself, if I stand in front of him like 1-2 meters, when I'm alone, he identifies easily. But if I'm with other people, he finds it difficult. Once I call him by name, then he identifies.
Mihran, after you finish reading this book, you can take a break, okay?
Yeah. And I can take a break.
Yes.
Bear saw a bug on a leaf, so he went to have a look. Yes, sir. Where on the grass I had to have a look. Which is a ladybug? Right there. Can't be. Hey!
You first look the letter.
Look at that.
Because he's not seeing properly, his writing is also affected. There's a coordination between what he's seeing and what he's writing.
Okay, where's the blank? Where's the line? Blank? Where's the line?
He pores over a worksheet.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so write the letter H? Yeah. No, where the line is.
Even the writing plane, it affects. When it's a vertical surface, he can write like on the blackboard. Whereas if it is on the desk, he finds very difficult to write.
You broke it again. You're doing this on purpose, right?
Okay, Mihran.
His father brings him a pencil and a sharpener.
No, you haven't even started properly.
Yeah, after this we can.
A hand guiding his to dip a paintbrush.
Next year, Mihran is going to primary 1. Initially, there was a worry how he will cope in the mainstream school. IC2 prep house, they assessed his condition. They confirmed that Mihran can go to the mainstream school.
Mine is fish!
Mihran waves his painting round.
He will need visual support, so he have to adapt to the technology and use it in his learning.
Mihran's smile is beatific. A man walking down a tiled path at SMU, sweeping his cane in an arc before him. Joshua.
There is a bit of a concern when it comes to people with vision impairment and going outdoors. At the end of the day, the world isn't as scary or as dangerous as some people might think that it is for people who can't see. And especially if you make the correct preparations, it can be really safe and really easy.
At the bottom of a staircase.
And so one thing with the stairs is that we can hold the cane like this to feel what's in front of us in terms of the next step. So just by doing this, I can make sure that I climb up the stairs properly. So let's try to find the escalator. Okay.
He descends underground and enters glass doors.
When we are following the tactiles, the main purpose of them is to help us know when certain things are coming and what direction we need to walk in.
The cane pointing.
So like here, it has ended from strips all the way to dots, and this is how I know that there's an obstacle, which is a ramp coming up.
He descends the ramp at a brisk pace, cane arcing over grey tile.
When the ramp stops, it will resume back to those dotted tactiles before going back to the straight line.
He follows the tactiles to turn left.
One downside of them is that they don't really give you any context as to where you're going. And so you have to be pretty familiar with what the tactile does, where it leads you, and all that kind of things. Unfortunately, we haven't reached the point where tactile guides on the floor are able to speak to you, but maybe someday.
On an MRT, close-ups of the cane.
So traveling on the MRT, by and large, for someone like me, is quite convenient. So there's some nice parts of it, like the fact that every station is being read out loud. So for example, our next stop is, let's see, what is it? So the next station is Promenade. So the fact that it gives that verbal indication of where we're going is always quite helpful for someone like me who can't read.
Behind him, the Circle Line map.
Another thing that's kind of interesting for people with vision impairment like myself is that when we get on the trains, quite often we get offered to take a seat. It's appreciated, but the thing is, we are disabled, but not in that way. Sometimes I feel like the seats are better off being used by people like the elderly, physically disabled, or people who need it more than a young person like myself.
He steps off the train into a well-lit platform, ascends an escalator, one hand on his cane, one hand on the rail, and at the dotted end of the floor tactiles, taps his card to pass through the gantry. A traffic light.
The thing about traffic lights in Singapore is that some of them have this beeping that allows us to know when we are supposed to cross, but some don't. So that can be a little bit of a source of confusion.
He crosses.
Another way we can cross the traffic light safely is to listen for the traffic. The cars will go from here to here, and there's also cars that will go from there to here. So when those cars cross in this direction, that's when it's time for me to cross.
Shots of Joshua walking through the HDB estate, the cane informing him of obstacles in the way.
By and large, getting around Singapore is pretty okay. It's pretty doable as long as you know where you're going. You do a little bit of research beforehand. And it's also improved a lot, especially in recent years.
He reaches his lift.
So that's all for today, guys. I'm going to see my girlfriend. Bye!
He enters the lift with a wave. Title: Seeing is Believing. Title: Seeing is Believing.
You try one with one sound just continuously, then it kind of create into a melody.
A man tinkers with buttons.
Then you add one of the sound archive in.
Oh, okay.
Another button combination.
If I want to put the sound archive, copy aussi okay. Let's see.
Angie, another artist featured in the Sam Touch collection.
For this Touch collection, I was invited to adapt my previous work for the special needs community. 8 tracks has to be from my work.
Pan over a wooden podium.
I had a previous artwork that's called Conducting Memories that was being exhibited for Singapore Biennale.
Behind the podium, a series of numbered buttons.
It was an interactive sound piece based on my memories.
A list of sounds, 24. A butcher chopping meat at the Empress Road Market.
For this Touch collection, it should be handheld and it should have some of the sound that came from the previous work. Karanguni! So people and Karanguni is from the same track,
Yeah,
no?
from the same track, but I make it into two sounds.
You split it into two sounds. You have to tell me what sound you use, you know.
Oh, okay.
I need the description.
Then I need to...
Because we have to put it under the braille.
Understand sense.
Looper Trooper is the name of the player. I always love the idea of wordplay. Looper is like you loop sound, you repeat sound. So I like this motion. This is very standard. Okay then, Rooster. And Trooper means like a group of people performing together. So sound together is like you gather people as an ensemble. You make a community.
Angie with a cheeky grin.
And I feel that it sounds very fun. That's why I think, oh, that's the title. Yeah, it just suddenly I thought of it. So maybe one track will follow one beat, then they can add on different sound.
Yes.
There's 8 sound,
Correct.
and then plus the instrument sound.
Correct.
The direction of public museum is gearing more towards the general public, but I still feel we can do so much more so that everybody can enjoy art. Why not?
The man presses different buttons on the small console.
It's just how, as artists, we are able to bring it to the ground for people to have accessibility to engage with art. I think that's very important. Try not to make the sound archive sound don't mix too much.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Because if not, it doesn't sound like it anymore. Then you put on the description, it's very hard for them to think, is that the sound?
Okay, understand.
They recognize sound. What?
A view of their backs at work.
Oh, that's nice.
Mihran and Amanda.
Yes, very good. Go to your chair.
He clambers in front of a screen.
Press this button.
Yes, for 1 second. So, in primary school, there's a lot more print materials. We are training him on his desktop magnifier so that he can actually participate meaningfully in class. Okay? All right. So we're going to start off with a storybook. I know you like that, right?
Again.
Yeah, again. Okay, so we're going to see what story is this. Mihran, if you need it to be bigger, you can make it bigger. How do you do that?
Why?
Where's the title?
I have to make it smaller.
Smaller? Are you sure you want to make it smaller?
The book is magnified 1.1
If we're going to
times.
make it so small, we don't need this machine, right? Let's make it clear so that you don't have to go so close to it, okay?
2 by 2, 2 by 4.
The book magnified.
2 by
Okay?
2 by 7.
All right. So, Teacher Amanda found out that you can do this. Okay, oh, there's a line. So now you can read properly, right?
Now I want to press the line.
One hand, you're going to hold this. This hand, you're going to hold this.
Each finger on a button.
And you're going to press it together. This device will follow him into primary 1. And he'll use it in his classroom to assess the materials. Easy?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to use this line as a guide. Okay. So you're going to read what's on top. He doesn't have to have a bigger piece of worksheet. He can have a regular size paper and then he can actually magnify it. So in that sense, he's similar to his peers.
Oranges.
Well done. Where are the oranges? Let's go. Focus on this area.
He leans in inches from the screen.
Hey, guess what I see? I see something orange.
For the young ones, I think there are many who are still going through the accepting phase.
It's so crazy.
It's so crazy. It's very hard to understand, like, why do I have to have a desktop magnifier in the classroom? Why am I different? We have to assure them that having a device doesn't make them any different. They can actually participate fully in the classroom as well. What happened to this? Let's pick that up.
Oh my god. Such crazy accident.
Crazy accident. For the last activity, not yet, wait first.
It's a camera.
How do you flip the camera up?
He grips the camera behind the screen.
2 hands. Now, I want you to show me where is our whiteboard.
She guides his hand.
Okay. What do you see on the board?
Nothing.
Nothing. So then what must we do?
Make it bigger.
Make it bigger. I spy with my little eye.
Animals on the board.
An elephant.
While searching, Mihran turns the camera beyond the board.
He's actually very, very new to this device. So the progress is a little bit slow. Okay, it's not anywhere else, it's just on the whiteboard. Because as you can see, he is still very much guided.
He slumps against the
What do
table.
you find?
I can't find anything.
Come, stand up. I want you to shift the camera, yeah. I do have a bit of fear that he will not be ready for primary 1 to use it independently. And the way he handles the machine, all these are concerns as well. Okay, you have to do it slowly.
An elephant comes on screen.
Look, it's so high.
Yeah, see what happens here?
Mihran leans into the screen.
It's blur already.
Yeah.
So, 3.
It's like my glasses.
It's not your glasses, it's the camera.
He shifts the camera.
Okay, there you go.
An iPhone cradled in 2 hands.
Voiceover on. 10:17 a.m.
There's a feature built into all iPhones called VoiceOver that allows the phone to talk back to you. So this is how I use my phone.
Split screen of Joshua and his phone.
If we go to the home screen,
Safari.
you can tell me the Safari, FaceTime, calendar, camera,
notes, reminders.
and I can also do stuff like swiping, like that. And this is actually a really slow speed. This is the speed that I normally use. This software also is able to read emojis. Let's go to
Symbols category. Radio button.
symbols. If you want to really show someone that you love them, you can put
2 circling hearts.
Slow pan over him and his phone.
maybe you're a bit angrier with them, but you still want to show that you love them. You can put
Black heart.
Texting.
I haven't seen Jay in a while, so let's say
Slides
hi.
his thumb across the keyboard.
So I use my phone for many normal everyday tasks. So texting, surfing the web, replying emails, even looking on social platforms. So it really helps me live out my life in a normal way that everyone else does. Hi Jay, we should meet for lunch soon. Let me send that to him. There we go. So you wouldn't think that people with vision impairments would use Instagram, but a lot of us do. Like the post.
Hashtag decorative dog, hashtag natural dog food, hashtag dog parent, hashtag natural dog supplement, hashtag adore beast, hashtag holistic dog supplement, hashtag healthy good, hashtag.
So that's reading the caption.
Phone lighting up.
10:58 a.m.
Oh,
One notification.
okay.
Message. I just had burgers. How about sushi? 10:58 a.m. Actions available. Compose message. Text field. Sure. I love sushi. Let's do it. Smiley. Word mode. Insertion point at end.
Sounds good.
Send. Button. Send.
And I've replied Jay.
Button. Message. Alana.
Title: Seeing is Believing. Title: Seeing is Believing.
See what it's like to pull the table. Okay.
Joshua steers a desk sideways.
So we are going to set up to film some YouTube videos.
As he sets up, he untangles a mass of wires.
So this will be the series of videos about how people with vision impairment can do unexpected things. I have too many wires here.
Shots of his setup.
So I've been in a position for at least 5 years now, communicating to people about what it's like to be a person living with vision impairment.
Retrieves a tripod.
For the camera, we'll be using my phone.
Searches the desk.
Mounted onto a tripod. And now I can't find my phone. Here. Just do a test shot.
Moves a ring light.
I've been to events, I've been to schools, I've done Q&As, and I think what I've learned over the past 5 years with these experiences is that people really do want to know what it's like for a person with vision impairment. I kind of have to guess what the framing is like
squints at the phone and waves a hand in the shot.
Give it a shot. So when I tell people that I'm able to use a phone, when I tell people that my phone allows me to read emojis, testing, 1, 2, 3, 1. When I tell them that I can do coding at school or that I write on a computer, people are totally surprised. And these are not very complicated things either. This is not to mention all the other things that I get up to in my spare time. I took a photo.
Holds his phone to his ear.
Oh my god, what am I doing?
Puts it back on the tripod and goes to sit at his desk.
Testing, 1, 2. Where's my camera?
Locates it.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
And rises to check the footage.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. I think the framing is better. Okay, so let's do an audio test. Let me grab my headphones. I think there's a level of interest and an opportunity for me to convey in a fun and engaging way what my life is like and how I approach things and how I might do things differently as a person with vision impairment, but ultimately how I'm able to still do them in the end. How to do makeup, audio 1.
Brings his palms together. Mihran, holding hands with his father and prancing out of a void deck towards a bright, tree-lined road. His mother and sister follow closely behind. Usman knows a thing or two about unconditional love.
Today is Mihran's first day in primary 1. Yesterday he told us he was very nervous.
They cross a road, Mihran skipping.
Mihran, walk slowly, Mihran. Don't have to rush.
The kindergarten, the staff, the children, they know about his condition and he is well taken care.
They approach a colourful playground.
But in the school is an open and big environment. The worry is initially he will struggle in terms of using the staircase, finding the classroom, identifying his friends, teachers. It will take some time for him to slowly understand and carry forward.
Mihran clambers around with ease.
Today when he come out of the school, he was very happy. He likes his school so much. And also he was happy to meet new friends.
Mihran goes down an orange slide and gleefully plays.
He should not worry about lagging behind. As long as he's happily enjoying the school and learn as much as he can, I think that is fine. Initially there was a lot of thinking for me, should I come on the show and openly tell about Mihran's condition, but I felt like there's no point in keeping it to myself.
Mihran climbs up onto the playground platform.
So you want
I can tell his condition to everyone in the media, so people can understand visually impaired very well.
He goes down a double slide with his sister.
And second thing, even though he has visual challenges, I want to show how happy he is.
Usman spins both children around.
To reach this point, it was not easy. We went through a lot of difficulties. We will support him throughout. But for him and children like Mihran to be successful, we really need their teachers and community support as well.
Mihran slides down to the camera and scampers off screen.
Let's go.
Bo Sheng and his friends are lighting a bus. On the back of his blue shirt, Goalball Singapore. 3 boys and a girl, all holding canes, each with a hand on a friend's shoulder and walking in a line towards a hawker center.
Sometimes at home I'll feel lonely. But some days when I have a lot of friends around me, I will really feel like doesn't matter can see or cannot see. We are still in the same condition. Everyone is together. I feel like I'm not alone.
An auntie takes the leader's hand and leads them through a hawker center.
Oh, careful.
Me.
Guys, don't drag. Hey, use your cane, use your cane.
Here a lot of people don't cannot you use you will hit people.
The auntie leaves them at an empty table.
Sit down. Wait. Lawrence.
The auntie returns. She takes the leader's hand, looks round.
Never mind. We go.
She points at the chairs. Bo Sheng.
Hey, you all find seat first lah. I get for your food lah. Xuan, you find seat first. Brother, you sit down here. Sit down here. Yeah, sit down here.
你要小的还是中的？中的哈。一个小一个中啊。一个小一个中，那你要陪他叫吗？我帮你叫。
我跟他们一样了。
一 一样啊，初见面啊。
重
的了，你呢？
我要大了，
重了。没有大了，小还是重了？
我要中了。
They settle in.
You know, just now, right? I was sitting on the chair that cannot be sit on, the cross one.
Oh, the X one.
Yeah, but this one's not X there. This one is like it tight like basketball like that one.
The auntie sets a plate of Hokkien mee down.
谢谢你，谢谢你。安迪，我可以赔那个食物吗？啊？我可以赔那个食物吗，安迪？总共多少个还你钱？哦，不需要，不需要。安迪，请你们。谢谢你，谢谢安迪。
Bo Sheng overlaid as the auntie brings their food.
There are many different types of people in Singapore who is like helpful to us. Wow. Yeah, really quite big. Some would like bring us to sit or offer us a seat when we are getting food in hawker.
Interesting, you know the place, right?
When people help us, we'll feel like having blessings like that.
You know the character.
Okay, bye bye.
谢谢。Well, I feel like you know the auntie is not like from like those selling like or probably passerby.
A busy hawker center with queues at different stalls.
Very not bad. Nice.
Bo Sheng eating with a smile. Joshua at his camera setup.
Oh, okay.
He goes back behind his desk. There's an Eevee plushie on it. He speaks to the camera.
Okay. So this is Blind Guy Does Makeup. A lot of people wouldn't think that makeup is something that's particularly relevant to people with vision impairment, but you know, everyone's a little bit vain. So we have here concealer. I stole this from my sister. So what we're going to try is trying to hide some blemishes. So fortunately or unfortunately today I have a wonderful pimple right here.
Points to his jaw. Fiddles with the concealer.
I don't know how to open it. Okay, let me actually, oh no.
Shot of the video feed on his phone.
So, moment of truth.
Dabs the concealer on.
Kind of a big pimple.
And smudges it around with a finger.
No real frame of reference on how much I'm supposed to put.
Cakes on some more.
I think I might have applied too much. Oh, I got pimple on my forehead.
Continues on to the rest of his face.
I think the biggest opportunity here is to show that people with vision impairments are much more capable than society at large might think, and even on a more fundamental level to dispel misconceptions and to raise awareness on what life as a person with vision impairment is like. Am I looking fabulous? No idea. People with vision impairments themselves, sometimes we limit ourselves with what we think we're able to do. And so my hope is that I can communicate all of this on an online medium, starting with YouTube. How have I done? Did I go a good side?
Actually, pretty good.
Felicia behind the camera.
Yeah, your eyes no longer look red.
Okay.
Your cheeks, nose, and chin part looks pretty even.
Okay, that's because I didn't apply any makeup there. In terms of my long-term goals for the future, I think I have a lot on the table. This is not too difficult for a person who can't see.
Under eye concealer.
I'm in a very fortunate position where I have a lot of doors open to me, and so I'm exploring my options. Regardless of where I go, I think I always want to do this advocacy work, to use my platform and position and experience to communicate to people what the vision impaired community needs and what we are like.
He finally closes the concealer.
How am I looking?
Angie with Bo Sheng and friends.
So for me, sound is very important as much as it's important to you, because I feel sound express a lot of emotion and it makes you aware of the surrounding and you feel closer to where you are. Maybe we can try and listen to some of the sound that this player can make, shall we?
Ahmad Ibrahim Secondary School.
Okay, so before that, when you want to play a sound, you have to press on. So the intention was to actually let the students and Penny try out the players. Ever since I completed the work, obviously I need to let them try out and, you know, see their reaction and to kind of complete the commission.
The students try making sounds.
So basically, you want to create a loop, a composition. Shall we try?
Get it? So basically, you can also jam with the rest of the guys. 11.
Bo Sheng presses buttons on the player.
We put it here.
15.
And we put it here.
Then
and
you
then
write.
we write again.
Now you listen.
And then you listen. As a contemporary artist, is one of my mission, I would say, to promote inclusiveness, especially in the art that I make. I mean, that is very significant in my practice. I feel that art can be for anyone and everyone.
Angie guides Penny, a VI resource teacher. Bo Sheng goes ham on the buttons. Cut to Lawrence, Bo Sheng's buddy.
Right. Now you get it already.
Lawrence. Lawrence. How is it, Lawrence? Huh? How is it? Wow, nice. That's like a rap. This is a nice beat. What do you enjoy snapping? Can I ask? I'm curious.
No lah.
No, tell me why.
He's on the
Because
beat
it
lah.
sound. So you're excited lah, like.
No
also,
lah.
No.
Once you get into the rhythm, it's like naturally come out one.
Oh, fantastic.
The students and their teacher experiment.
It's fantastic when you know your artwork could be touched. I mean, the objective is there and the intention was being fulfilled.
Are you adding some more? Only got kopi or siew dai. I don't have bak chor mee pork.
No, you don't know this because it's not your generation. So this is my memory, it's my generation.
So young eh.
Yeah, in the 80s. In the 80s, okay? Okay, now it's time for you to read my manual. Then you will understand.
Lawrence reads the Braille manual.
SAM touch for the usually.
Angie.
I learned so much from this experience. It reinforced my belief. It strengthened my belief that I can do so much more. I can even be more focused in creating a more direct approach, towards that specific community. Definitely, I feel more drive, Thank you for your participation, boys. Amazing. Thank you so much. It's really my privilege to able to share my artwork with you, And hopefully, next time I can create different version of it.
Bak chor mee lah.
Bak chor mee. Okay. I put bak chor mee. What else? What else you want? One ice kacang or not?
Angie poses with the students and teacher for a photo.
Thank you for all the wonderful participation and all the feedback, and it's my pleasure really to get this done.
Credits. Special thanks, Joshua Singh, Bo Sheng To, Mihran, Usman and family, Ang Song Ming, Angie Sia, IC2 Prep House, Temasek Polytechnic, Singapore Art Museum, Ahmad Ibrahim Secondary School, Singapore Management University, Singapore Association of the Visually Handicapped. Produced by Very for CNA.
Set. 目標周大。